Okay, I'm officially not on the route anymore. I'm headed to Grandma's house. Who knows how long this is gonna take? I think it's a good 3 hours or something like that. I could take the highway, but I really don't want to. So I'm back roading it to Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Then I'm crossing the river to Gallipolis, Ohio. And I'm gonna stay at the luxurious Super 8 Gallipolis, Ohio. And that's about it. So I guess you probably heard all that, but Big Boss gave me a call, and number one, he's spying on me. Some guy with 3 tennis balls on his antenna, and he wants in on my retirement consulting business, and he says he has a source for the cyanide. So I don't know. I mean, I like working with Big Boss, even though he's having me followed, which is a little weird, but you know, his heart's in the right place, I guess. He just likes to keep tabs. So I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm just mulling that over. But the cyanide connection is pretty huge, so I don't know. And those deer yard sculptures are very popular in this part of the world. And I've passed about at least 7 gas stations, and not one of them has been open. Like, they're all just old gas stations that are dilapidated and closed forever. I did, before I left, I marked some on this road, so I should be fine. But, weird. Gone through a couple towns, no gas. One of them looked like somebody was living in it. It looked kind of cool, actually. So this leg of the journey, I'm going to go up the... Now mowing, God, man, they're doing all sorts of stuff today. That smells better than the paint. I'll tell you that much. I'm gonna go up the, what is it, east side of the river? Does it flow north to south? I don't even know, but I'm going on the east side, because that's the side where my grandparents' old house is. And there's some weird stuff along the way. And I want to see their house. And then I'll cross the bridge into Ohio, and Gallipolis is right there. Man, I'm just getting boned by this kind of stuff. I was behind that paint truck for at least 30 minutes. Right? Something like that. So, let's see. It's, what? Almost 3. So, that's 5.5 hours to do 100 miles. I thought it was going to be 4. And I've got a long way to go. I miscalculated. Some of that stuff was rough, man, rough. Definitely rougher than the Tat. Rougher than the Georgia Traverse. Probably about equal to the... Is Some of that BDR stuff, the East Coast BDR stuff. Man, I'm dreaming about that container full of cyanide. I'm gonna set the industry on fire. My plan is airtight. You can't argue with it. It absolutely makes the most sense. I challenge you. I challenge you. Oh, this sucks. Should I just pass all this? No. That would be irresponsible. This is some good footage though. Check this out, man. Beautiful. The scenery. I mean, this is excitement right here. This is pure adventure. I wonder if there's a horror movie that involves one of those mowers. Those things are evil, man. I couldn't believe there was a horror movie about a tire. If you watch the East Coast BDR series, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Alright, this is boring. I'll talk to you when there's something going on. Yes. Yes. Whew. Wow. I totally just left this completely unzipped. Really well done. Really well done. Jesus. I'm so lucky nothing fell out. At least that I know of. God, I'm dumb. Jesus. Alright. I'm gassed up. My phone's dead. I got directions that I didn't need from an old guy on a bicycle. I think it made him happy to give me directions though, so. All these little old towns, man, are so weird. It's old buildings. Cool. See, these are the kind of places my wife and I want to live in. Something that just looks dilapidated on the outside, and then when you walk in, it's beautiful. That's the dream. I don't know why that's the dream, but that's the dream. I can't win today with the traffic stoppers. That damn old guy on the bicycle hadn't wanted to give me directions that I didn't need. I would have passed the school before these buses left. Thanks a lot, old man. Damn you. So, I've been on the bike for 12 hours now. Basically one water break in the woods and a couple of gas stops, maybe three gas stops. And I'm feeling it a little bit. 12 hours is a long time to do any one thing. I'm saying that with confidence. I think it's true. And I've got a couple more to go. I probably should have just taken the highway to Point Pleasant, but what are you gonna do? I mean, I could have. Wait, hold on a second. Hello? Hey, ass, what's going on? You're not calling to complain, are you? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I know, 12 hours is a long time, but it's not that bad yet, is it? Yeah, I know you're feeling it, but it's not painful. I mean, it's painful, but it's not outrageous. Anyway, what's up? Haven't heard from you in a while. What? You're kidding me. Are you serious? Oh, congrats, man. And I say man in a non-gender specific fashion. Oh, that's great, dude. Oh, man, I'm so glad to hear that. Wow, man. It's incredible what you've gotten into. I mean, you're attached to my backside, and you're doing all this stuff. I have no idea what you're up to. It's crazy. Wow, that is just fantastic. Yeah. No, I haven't told anyone. I haven't. But I'm allowed to now? Are you sure? So, how did it happen? One cheek, got down on one cheek, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. You know, this may be too personal, but how does lovemaking work? Oh no, you know what? Stop right there. Never mind. Nope, I don't need to know. It's fine. No, I know you would tell me. I know. I'm glad you feel comfortable enough to tell me that kind of stuff, but honestly, once you started, I changed my mind. I don't need to know. It's fine. Yeah, nope, you gave me too much information already. Okay. Well, listen, that's fantastic. Let me know the dates, whatever, and yeah, it's great. Yeah, tell her I said hey. Okay, man. And I say man in a non-gender specific way. Yeah, have a good one. All right, dude. Bye. Wow. You guys are not going to believe this. Okay, so I guess I'm allowed to tell this whole story now. So, do you remember at the end of the East Coast BDRs, Ass had his big concert? And it was a smash hit. It was amazing. It pretty much changed Ass's life. You know, a lot of stuff happened for Ass after that really quickly. And, you know, Ass handled it well. But one thing that we've had to keep a secret because it's a bit sensitive, but so after the show, he and Liz Phair hooked up. And at first I was so jealous because you know I'm a big Liz Phair fan. And I got to meet her that night too. But she went home with Ass. So they have been dating ever since then. And it's very hush-hush. You know, her PR person, you know, wanted to really figure out how to best make it public because, you know, it's a little, I don't know, it's a little, I don't want to say strange because that's kind of judgy, but you know, it's I don't know. I don't know if the world's ready for this, but I mean, that's been months now they've been dating, and they came over to dinner once with me and Jen, and it was really nice. I'm over my jealousy, and Liz Phair is so cool. She's just a very lovely person. So anyway, Ass just told me that he proposed to her and she said yes. He said he got down on one cheek. I'm not sure exactly what the mechanics are in that, but he said he got down on one cheek, popped the question, and she said yes. I forgot to ask him where it was. I don't even know. They've been spending a lot of time in the south of France. There's a lot of stuff going on with France today. Maybe that's only internally in my mind. I don't know if I've said anything about it, but there's a lot of French stuff going on today. So anyway, they're getting hitched. I started, I guess you overheard my end of the conversation, but I started to ask him, I've always wondered how the naughty stuff happens. Like what's the I don't know. And anyway, he started to tell me, and it was too much for me. I'm pretty open-minded. I'm not a very judgmental person. People who are into kinky stuff, I'm all for that. But I think I just don't need the visuals, I think. So I'm just going to leave that alone. Let them have their private life. But yeah, I'm really happy for Ass. I think it's a great match. Again, it's crazy that Ass is like attached to me, yet has this whole other life that I don't really know about. It's pretty crazy. How does Ass go to the south of France without me knowing about it? I don't know. It's mysterious. Anyway, congratulations, Ass. Congratulations, Liz Phair. Amazing. I wonder if they'll do like a married couple duet album or something. They were talking about going on tour together. Ass isn't that famous. Ass is super famous, but not as famous as Liz Phair. So he was gonna open up for Liz, and then she was gonna close the show, and then they were gonna come back for an encore and do a few songs together. Candyman, Pour Some Sugar on Me, and a couple of other ones. So I don't know if that plan's still on. Anyway, I'm glad Ass doesn't have he won't have any ego problems with that. He'll be fine with Liz being the more famous person in the marriage. I just said he. Ass is a they. I can't believe I messed that up. I had been getting so good at it. Anyway, they're very supportive. So wow, yeah. Look in the gossip rags tomorrow. I'm sure you'll see something about it. They said they were going to post to social in the next hour, so look for that too. Incredible. I'm so happy. I wonder what the wedding's going to be like. I wonder where the wedding's going to be. I wonder who's going to be best man. I'm not going to be upset if it's not me, but I kind of hope it's me. I'd have to start working on a speech. Anyway, that's great news. So nice to hear. Oh, made it to Huntington. I just had to get off this bike for a second. Oh God. Am I going the wrong way? Of course. Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be? Huntington, man. West Virginia got killed by the opioid situation. And I think Huntington is like ground zero. You know what I mean? But this drive will be very, very nostalgic. Huntington was where, at least I think it is, it's where Marshall is located, where my grandmother went to school to become a school teacher. And we also used to always come down here to go to Jim's Spaghetti, which, I mean, I've been going to that place since I was a little tiny kid. And it's like, it's this weird old, I think it's called Jim's Spaghetti and Steakhouse. And it's kind of famous. Future Angel put up a picture of Grandma there, sitting in the seat where JFK sat. But we've been going there forever. And I remember the first time we brought Jennifer there. And I'm like, it's amazing. You were going to just freak out, this place. We've been going here forever. It's so good. And once we were alone after dinner, she's like, dude, that's the worst food I've ever had in my life. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? It's so good. But once I thought about it, I realized it really is not good. Okay, the spaghetti sauce it's like ground beef. What are you fucking doing? Okay, it's like ground beef, lots and lots of ground beef. Probably a little bit greasy ground beef. And, you know, it's a tomato sauce, but it's also got lots of sugar. Which I never noticed any of this until Jen sort of brought it up. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. It's terrible. It's terrible. I still love it. Don't get me wrong. And you should definitely go there if you're in Huntington, West Virginia, because it's classic. It's just classic. But, yeah, Jen was right. Don't tell any of my family that we said that. Because they, like my mom, she'll get quarts of it, like many quarts of it, frozen, and bring it home. They've had Jim sauce for like Thanksgiving. I mean, it's an addiction. Anybody who goes through Huntington, like I'm gonna get in trouble for going through Huntington and not sending everybody sauce. They are just so into it. And just because I've been going there for so long and whatever, I mean, I'm into it too. Not so good for a vegan, but I would make an exception for Jim sauce. Because in one way, it's so delicious, but in another way, it's disgusting. I don't know what to say about it. Like, they give you this salad, which is like, it's weak, man. It's weak. It's just weak. They also have, my grandmother's favorite is French silk pie that they have. And that's good. There's no denying that. All their pies are good. They like sell out. It's just one of those weird places that is beloved by the locals. And it's kind of world famous too. Like, there's pictures of famous people in there. but from like an Italian standpoint, it is not spaghetti sauce. It's kind of more like, you know what it's like? It's like sloppy joes. It's like sloppy joe filling with sugar and maybe a little more tomato. That's exactly what it's like. It's a cool place. Huntington is also when Purple Rain came out, whenever that was. I saw it at the theater when it came out.
She took me to her castle and I just couldn't believe my eyes.
I think my mom and grandma went shopping and dropped me off. And that movie, of course, changed my life. I don't know how old I was. Probably 12, 13, 14, somewhere around there probably. Oh, that movie. I need to see that again. I wonder if it holds up. Prince, man. Prince. Huntington. There was this massive music store here too called Pied Piper. I wonder if it's still here. They sold stereos and musical equipment, guitars, drums, the whole deal. I used to love going in there. I'd come down here with my uncle. He had this early 70s Nova Super Sport with a 350 something in it. Maybe even bigger engine than that. I don't remember. Whatever the Super Sport had. But it was cherry red with big white pinstripes. It was so cool. He's still got it too. He's got that, and he's also got the green Honda Trail 70. That was the first bike I ever rode. I'm sure I've told this before on the tap, but my dad and I, my grandfather was a farmer, I've already said that, and my dad and I were rummaging around in one of the barns or something, and we found in baskets all these parts, completely just apart, and it was a Honda Trail, the one with the gas tank under the seat, the ugliest of all those old bikes. And we brought it. Grandpa said we could have it, so we brought it to Georgia and put it all back together, got it running. When I say we, my dad, pretty much, because I was in like first, second grade. I helped, and by help I mean I probably made it worse. But anyway, got it running, and then soon after that we moved to Connecticut, and I rode that thing all over the damn place in Connecticut. All over. Full hooligan little kid, just everywhere. I loved that little bike. And anyway, eventually, somehow, it went back to Uncle Mark, and he still got it. He drives it. He rides it around the farm. But man, he was so cool when I was growing up. He had a little motorcycle. I forget what it was. A little Suzuki something or other. He'd ride me around on that. He'd take me to the what was the place called? Like a shake shop type deal. Because the thing they did was they would just cruise up and down the street in their cool muscle cars. And like that was the entertainment of the day. And we go to this place where they had the the waitress comes out to the car and they put trays on the car, they attach somehow, I forget how that works, but riding around in that big muscle car. He had like the cool shifter, all the dials in there. Just a little kid's dream. let me tag along with his girlfriend, who eventually he got married to. Vicky, super cool lady. Good stuff, good stuff. What are you doing? Fucking go! I was just thinking, I bet some of you, like when I'm in the rough stuff and bitching about it, you're probably like, well then, why are you doing these kind of routes, dummy? And I'll tell you why. I really like being out in the middle of nowhere where no one is. And those are the kind of roads you gotta take to get out there. That's the price you gotta pay. I don't necessarily enjoy them. I mean, I feel a sense of accomplishment if I get through it without too much trouble. But I wouldn't say I thought they were like a rip-roaring good time or anything. But I like doing them because you end up way the hell out in the middle of nowhere, many, 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 many miles from another human being, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, I'd rather just putter around on forest roads that aren't too technical. That's my jam. That's my jam. We just passed the locks, and my great-grandfather was a lock master. My great-grandfather was a lock master, and my grandfather was a postmaster. Lots of masters happening. And they lived in this little house, like right next to the locks. I thought that was an interesting job. And then they lived out past where my grandmother's place is, and they call it the old place. And they lived out there. There was a cave that I've been to out there that's, I don't know, got some Native American history to it. And was it the old place? Is that what they call it? I think so, the old place. Anyway, this humongous power company bought all the land and put up a power plant. And I've seen the deed, like they listed all the people who sold it in the paper, and it was like 23 of my relatives all had a little piece of that property. And then the power company like chopped down pretty much every tree, and it's a mess out there now. And my uncle worked at that power plant for probably 30 years. So I'm pretty sure that the barn that the motorcycle was in is down there somewhere. Might be that building right there. Man, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. But that was when my grandfather was, I think he was renting land down here. And eventually they bought a farm across the river in Ohio. And my uncle's still running that farm. To this day, the schoolhouse my grandmother taught first grade at was out here somewhere too. I don't think the building's still there, but somewhere out here. So this is Gallipolis Ferry, which is different from Gallipolis. Gallipolis is in Ohio across the river. But check this out. See that chemical plant? That wasn't here when my grandparents moved in, but It's been here as long as I've ever come here, and they lived right across the street from it. And just by chance, my dad, when we lived in New Jersey, worked for that company. It was called Stauffer. He was like a sales rep. So that's the post office that my grandfather was a postmaster at. That's the dairy bar that they used to run. And that's their old house. And you can't see it, but behind there, there's this big black box, weird, like tarred up box that was a well. And I don't know why, but it's just something I liked about the house. You could like climb on it and stuff. And sort of where those trees are. Oh, I bet you can see it from over here. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Wow. I don't know why. I don't know what that means, but I'm bummed. They lived in that house for a long time. And there used to be a trailer right here that my great-grandmother Van lived in for a while. That's my grandmother's mother. And that was Stauffer. I don't know what it is now. And the dairy bar, selling shakes and ice cream. How suck would it be to live across from this gross chemical plant? But I don't think we ever even thought about it. How weird that my dad worked for that company. It's so random. I wonder if that house was built by the government for the postmaster. I don't know, but they lived there even after he had retired for a while. And then at some point they moved across the river to Gallipolis. It's a little closer to the farm. And Grandma Van moved over there too, right downtown. And Gallipolis is like out of a different time. It's got this square with like, I don't know, it's old school. And it's weird, they lived there, and Point Pleasant is straight up here across the Canaga River, something like that. But for some reason we always went to Gallipolis instead. My grandfather's mom lived in Gallipolis too, so they were always hopping across the river. And the Ohio River is crazy. It's like, it's not as big as the Mississippi, but it's big. It's big, and it's got this Southern Gothic, just sort of evilness about it. I mean, I don't know where I'm getting that from, but, well, I kind of do. When I was a little kid, I think this happened before I was born, maybe. I'm not sure. Future Angelo, look it up. But there was a bridge up here, the Silver Bridge, that crossed the Ohio from the Point Pleasant side of the Canaga, and it just collapsed.
1928, the Silver Bridge opening ceremony. It was the first chance for the people of Point Pleasant to see up close the construction of their new suspension bridge that crossed the Ohio. Almost 40 years later, at the height of 5 o'clock traffic, one of these eye bars broke, causing the entire bridge to collapse. 31 vehicles fell with the bridge. 46 people lost their lives.
And they would tell us stories about the divers went in to get the bodies out, and there were catfish down there that were like 6-7 feet long, humongous. I don't know. There's something weird about this river. It's creepy, kind of. It's beautiful, but. And when my grandfather died, died, and I got into I started thinking about Grandma. You know, they'd been together forever and ever and ever. I don't even know how many years. But, and he's just gone, and it sucks. And, so I started writing this record, sort of based on just thinking about that. And then I started to pretend like what it would feel like if I was their age and my wife died. So I just pretended my wife was dead for about 3 months and wrote a bunch of songs. It's not a concept album, but all the songs are kind of about the same thing, sort of. And it's called Leaving Ohio. I'll show you where the picture from the cover was taken.
Let's welcome our next guest, an unacclaimed singer and songwriter, Angelo Gianni, from Treadmill Trackstar.
Thank you. What a great crowd you guys have today.
So what is Treadmill Trackstar all about?
Well, these days, Treadmill Trackstar is pretty much about figuring out ways to make the next record. So it's kind of like the mashed potatoes in Close Encounters. You know, the guy gets really obsessed with this vision he has, and he wants to figure it out, and so he sculpts the mashed potatoes to try to, and that's what we do with the record. And then the cool thing about Treadmill Trackstar is that then you throw away those mashed potatoes and you start again with the next record.
Can you tell us about the new album?
It's mostly an all acoustic record. Remember when Grandpa died?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about how, when Grandpa died, Grandma was left all alone after 60 years. And how much that really stinks. And so to write the songs for this record, I kind of would lock myself in my little room downstairs, and I would try to pretend that my whole family was dead, and I would try to imagine how that would make me feel and what I would go through. And so that's how I wrote the songs. There's also a Southern Gothic kind of spooky vibe that goes through the record too. And it's all about the Ohio River, and this guy's mate drowns in the Ohio River, and it's all about him dealing with that after she's gone.
Is there anything you'd like to share with us before you go?
As you know, we have a new video out on YouTube, so people can check that out. It's called The Waste. We have the new record out, which is called Leaving Ohio, and it's available for pay whatever you want on Bandcamp. Or you can go to our website, treadmilltrackstar.com. And we also have our pretty much entire archive of everything we've been able to find from the past that's available for free download online.
You should bring a bunch of mashed potatoes.
I know, I should have. Next time I will.
Bye-bye.
Okay, see you later. Thank you.
Bye.
It's a pretty good record. I think it's probably might be my favorite record that we did. It's all acoustic, which was different for us. We just wanted to mix it up. So there's no electric guitars, no nothing, just acoustic instruments, stand-up bass. And it's pretty good. You should go check it out. It's called Leaving Ohio by Treadmill Trackstar, and it's on Spotify or wherever else you get your music. So across that old beat-up bridge is Point Pleasant. That's where the Mothman's from. And this is the bridge that replaced the one that fell. The one that fell used to be down that way somewhere. Right, that river's, it's got something going on. That's the power plant I was talking about. That's where my family had the old place and where my uncle worked. I think it's called Gavin. In Ohio. down one of these roads was an airport, and every time we'd come to visit my grandparents, my dad would take flying lessons there. My dad owned a Cessna and a Cherokee, and I swear to God, I think he owned a MiG, like an old Russian plane. He's out of it now. I feel like I've talked about this before too. Whenever I would get in the plane with him, I would sing La Bamba because it felt sketchy. I don't think I'm making this up, but I might be. But I swear I remember times when the air traffic control guy was like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Stop." That's the KFC where I will get Grandma's meal. Oh, and so last time we were here, I think I was trying to tell this way earlier and got sidetracked by the road or something. But we got Grandma that stuff, and me and Milena we drove the RV, and we had brought like beans and tortillas and whatever. And so everybody else is eating fried chicken, and me and Milena have these like Tupperware things of making burritos, and my grandmother was like, "Why aren't you eating chicken?" And we're like, "Well, we're doing the vegan thing." And my grandmother was like, this blew her mind. She could not wrap her head around it at all. She's like, "What, you mean you don't, sakes alive, you don't eat meat?" She could not understand what we were talking about at all. It just completely blew her mind. So tomorrow I might be eating some fried chicken. It's a good excuse. I gotta do it for Grandma, right? She seriously just could not, she couldn't comprehend why anyone would not eat meat. It's understandable. I get it. I kind of love this town, and I think it's getting like, it's really hard to find anything to eat in this town that's not like fast food. There's one Italian restaurant that's kind of good, but not much. But I just have this feeling that it's getting there's got to be Gallipolis hipsters now, right? A bar opened about 10 years ago on the square. It's a lot of fast food though. Riverside Motel, that's where my band stayed a couple of times when we played in Huntington, and then we'd come up here. It was too much to ask to have everyone stay at Grandma's house, although she wouldn't have minded at all. We might have stayed there a couple times. I'm trying to remember what the club was in Huntington. It was pretty good. My grandmother has sort of the same, she's got the same attitude I do. Like, when we talk on the phone, you know, we talk for 5 minutes and then we're like, all right, see you later. It's not this drawn out thing. And it's the same with visits. We just like, we visit, we get it done, and it's like, see you later. I think last time I was here was Christmas time. We all came up. So it's been a bit. So here's kind of Main Street, Gallipolis. So old school, right? And OVB is Ohio Valley Bank, and my grandfather bought a bunch of stock from that millions of years ago. He bought some for my kids. They still have it. I think he did really well with it. Here's the square, gazebo. Right? Old school, man. Old school. They do it up here on Christmas too. The lights everywhere. But like this stuff's new. I think those are probably condos or something. It's kind of nice. There used to be a record store down here called Criminal Records. Are you fascinated by Gallipolis, Ohio? I know you are. Look at this. This is some Mark Twain shit right here. Isn't it? Yes, it is. It is some Mark Twain shit. And those are the, down there, those 3 pillars, those are icebreakers. That's where the picture from the album cover is from. I took it right about here, somewhere.
This car feels unsteady. Past the spot we laid out on the levee. Through the locks I'll join you out in the river. Oh, gone to the sea, and I'll take the jet. Keep your ghost with me. Nothing else to be done. Drag the river. Nothing else to be done. Drag the river.
Hey, please like this video if you liked this video, and if you'd like to see more, hit that subscribe button and the alert bell. Also, if you're interested, there are links to gear lists and goofy t-shirts in the description. Thanks a ton for watching.